reaction to LeBron joining forces with Jaylen Brown and company in Philly?
Shock, because I thought that if he was going back east, he would go home, that he wouldn't dangle his availability in the face of the Cleveland Cavaliers and then go somewhere else. For him to choose the Philadelphia 76ers, this is a shock among shockers. And I think that this speaks to Bob Myers, the architect, the former four-time champion executive for the Golden State Warriors, being in Philly now and having him there, who went out and pulled off a heist as far as most of us are concerned in getting Jaylen Brown. So now you got Jaylen Brown, okay, who's big time, obviously, with Tyrese Maxey, who's big time. You got him with VJ Edgecombe, who shined as a rookie and has got tremendous potential. And now you're looking at it, if Joel Embiid is 50%, I mean, if he can give you anything during the playoffs, the Philadelphia 76ers could win the championship. I think this right here puts the Philadelphia 76ers right there with the New York Knicks as the favorites in the Eastern Conference to come out.
What it do? Welcome to the J-Boy Sports Podcast. We have some breaking news, something that we've been following for a long time, but it looks like it has come to an end, which is fine. Not a problem at all. And that is that LeBron James is now on the Philadelphia 76ers. So he is off my Lakers. Praise Ja. And now he's a Sixer problem. And I just want to point out really quickly, a lot of you have seen me with Eagles hats. I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. I am not really a Philadelphia 76ers fan. I respected Allen Iverson. I've had respect for some players that have been on the Sixers, but I'm not a Philadelphia 76ers fan. I'm a Laker fan and proud to be one once again, finally, for the first time in a long time. But LeBron James is now on the Philadelphia 76ers. So everybody's going to be telling you all these things like, oh, now LeBron's on the Sixers, and blah, blah, blah. You're just going to see a lot of news reporting, but that's not really my style. I don't mind reporting on news, but I've got to approach it from a slightly different angle. So the angle of this video is we're going to look at specifically what Bob Myers did that allowed LeBron James to make this decision. Now, he went on the Game Over podcast and did an entire pitch, and I didn't cover that because I didn't really care. I didn't think it was important for my purposes, but now it actually is. So I'm glad I waited. They say good things go to those who wait, so I'm going to be at least about an hour late, right? Good old yay. But also, just briefly listening to what Stephen A. Smith said, I thought that was interesting also. So maybe we'll drop back to what Stephen had to say. But first, let's go with what did Bob Myers do? Analyze what Bob Myers did that made LeBron James make that decision. And I'm going to tell you just straight up off the jump, the first and easiest thing that he did is he kissed butt. He kissed butt and tried to appeal to him as a human being while kissing butt. And I like Bob Myers overall. I think he knows how to work people. I think he's smart. I think he's a very good GM. So all he did is put all those skills to use. And that's why you got to know people, man. Everybody has certain things that make them tick. And if you hit those, you can get them to do a lot of things. Hopefully not anything. Hopefully you have some standards and morals. But let's just check this out.
Best chance to win. You have to decide all the other things that are equally important. It's his life, right? He has to play. He has to face the scrutiny of his decision.
So the first thing I noticed that he said, I just want to start off. So he's saying it's his life. He's already faced the scrutinies of the decisions. Bob Myers is extremely smart. He's right. He has already dealt with those things. So he's appealing to that. You know people aren't going to like your decision. We're not hoping that they do. We know you're coming here. A lot of people are not going to like it, but we're here to win. If you're here to win, you can win here. You can get another ring here. And to LeBron, that's really important. Probably. But again, from a standpoint of somebody like myself, I could care less. It doesn't change anything for me. You know, you having to do all this move. The first rings he got, in my opinion, don't matter to me that much. Because in my mind, he was somebody that was on track to not win a ring. And then he won one because he decided to be cheap and join some of the best players in the league at the time, in the 2010, 2011 year or whatever. This is the same thing. This team is loaded. I can't lie. They got a lot of talent, especially front-loaded talent. They just got Jaylen Brown, who was a Finals MVP, came off his best individual season last year. Took the Philadelphia, the Boston Celtics without Jason Tatum from a team that was struggling to that should have potentially struggled. And, he showed that I am a 1A type player. I can get them there. Now, they lost to the Sixers, ironically. But it's funny, too. That's interesting. I didn't really think about that before, and that's kind of off of this video. But he went to the team that he lost to, but he didn't do it himself. There's a difference, and people don't understand. We got to get back to the context, right? So Brown is going to the Sixers, but he didn't, in free agency, make that decision to join the team that just beat him. That would have been extremely soft. He was traded there, which is also weird if you're Boston. So now if you're Boston, you traded him to the Sixers, who already had Embiid. They have Tyrese Maxey, Edgecombe, Kelly Oubre. I think they still have did they still have Tobias Harris? Or did he go somewhere else? Let me double check. Let me see here. Is Tobias Harris still on the Sixers?
No, Tobias Harris isn't with the Sixers anymore. He left the team in 2024.
Oh, that was a big one that I missed. I forgot. He did. Oh, Tobias Harris is on the Spurs. Okay, the plot thickens. We're going to have to go over that at some point. Okay, so they lose Tobias Harris, and now they have LeBron James. Okay. But yeah, like I said, the Boston Celtics, you traded Brown to the people that just knocked you out. And now essentially they got LeBron James on top of that. And Jason Tatum's going to be fighting for his life in the circle. Like I don't know. Boston's dumb. I don't know why they did this. It still doesn't make sense to me, but Bob is appealing to some points for LeBron. We're talking about winning. We're talking about, you already know the scrutiny is going to come. Bob's ahead of the game. He really set this up. You got to give Myers credit. He really is an excellent GM.
Half the people will say you should have done this or should have done that. He's been through all that. What I would just say is, if it's about winning, let's talk about this team, because you can win here in Philadelphia. If you want to talk about other stuff, about what's this guy like, what's that? By the way, he knows players, a lot of them better than I do. This is a guy that probably watches more basketball than anybody understands. Like, he's not just playing, he's probably watching the game in February that nobody's watching.
I actually 100% agree with this. And Bob Myers, once again, is very smart. And if this was part of this, and this is probably part of his actual pitch when he sat down with him for real. I think LeBron James watches a lot of basketball. There's no doubt in my mind. He said he knows players better than I do. I 100% believe that. Because when you're constantly a snake in the grass trying to get people to come and help you build your legacy, of course he's paying attention to different players, how they react to certain things. Probably, he's always talked about, so how they may even speak about him. So I'm sure LeBron James pays attention to these things, and Bob Myers, once again, being smart, is able to put that together.
So he knows, not only does he know the guys, he knows how they play.
I hate to do this, Bob, but I'm going to make the pitch for LeBron in Philadelphia now.
Oh, God.
I have to do this because Knicks just won the championship, the whole thing. But I don't think Philadelphia gives him the best chance to win. I think Minnesota does.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Philadelphia.
I don't know where Max got that from. Minnesota? Why? There is no way you could put LeBron James and Rudy Gobert on the floor at the same time together. That's impossible. That's impossible. So I don't know where Max just pulled that one out of his butt cheeks. Pause, no diddy.
Philadelphia is the best market for him to play in. I think New York is. There are markets that would be at least as appreciative of a championship if he helped bring it as Philadelphia. But if you're talking about a combination of all things, they give him a very good chance to win. It's a major market on the Eastern Seaboard that he has not played in. the fans in Philly will love you forever. If
It's big on the Eastern Seaboard is true because in the West, he wasn't doing nothing in the West. That wasn't going to happen. The Spurs and the Thunder are just going to be tough from day one. Jalen Williams barely played last year, and they still went on like a crazy run. Chet Holmgren has a lot of growing up to do. If he manages to become more of a problem down there somehow, he needs to eat a lot more food because he's weak. But, there's a potential there for the Thunder to take even another step. So LeBron wasn't doing nothing. If he didn't, there's no team he would have been on out West where he could have did. Because even if he managed to somehow get out the West, the battle to get out is going to be so hard, man. But now in the East is better than when he last left it. But he basically just, again, super teamed himself to the top of that. So we'll see. He also mentioned, Max said that they'll love you forever there if you win for the Sixers. Listen, I'm an Eagles fan. We are not light on people. You see what just happened to Jaylen Brown? I don't see a big difference. And I'm talking about AJ Brown that played on the Eagles. His breakup was disgustingly bad. And part of it was him and part of it was the Eagles fan base. But either way, now that he's out of here, a lot of us are like, yeah, good riddance, bro. Because he was always crying and complaining about his own stuff. Is he much different from LeBron James as far as that's concerned? LeBron is here for himself. Don't get it twisted. And I say here, I'm not in Philadelphia. He's going there for himself. I don't know if Philadelphia fans love stuff like that. Where Philadelphia, as an Eagles fan, I'm not a Sixers fan, but as an Eagles fan, I can tell you, we get down and dirty. We're grimy. We don't play that stuff. If we don't like it, we don't like it. We think you're slacking. We think you're being selfish. We're going to call you out on it. They slapped Santa Claus or like they don't care. They don't give a damn. So if you win a championship, they'll love you forever. But you got to win. And if they don't win, this is just going to look like another epic failure. That's another problem there.
you win a championship.
Whatever place he chooses, I think all I could talk about would be winning and organizationally support.
It's like you're on a show like The Bachelor or something, and you're trying to get the girl, and everyone's going the hard sell, and you're doing the soft sell.
Well, let's be honest. Whatever I say,
I've never seen The Bachelor, but I assume that's how it works. Right?
Max, whatever I say doesn't really matter to what he's going to do.
Right.
Let's be honest. He's 41. He has grown children. He's won championships.
He would love for him to be in the league when he becomes a grandfather. Be amazing.
What?
Would that not be interesting to you?
I really enjoyed this, though.
You
I
did?
really enjoyed this.
Yeah, you didn't really
No,
offer.
no,
Give me something.
No, it wouldn't be interesting. And then listen to Rich Paul being a closet weirdo on the other side. I really enjoyed this, Bob. I really enjoyed this. Could you like appeal to us a little bit more, so that me and LeBron feel a little bit more comfortable knowing that you love us? Like, please? Thank you so much. Thank you, Bob. Get out of here, Rich. Chill out, man.
And you know why?
Welcome
You know
to my
why?
life.
You know what?
Way.
Because sometimes it's okay to just listen.
What do you think the strong points of Philadelphia are for LeBron James?
Big time player there. A lot of love in Philadelphia, West Philly, South Philly.
You can name all the different.
The fact that they have big time players there, and that's part of why he wants to go there, disgusts me a little bit, but it is smart, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Manning out,
Directions
all
in
through.
Philly.
Do they like you in Philadelphia? Do they treat you well in Philadelphia?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got a lot of love in Philly.
I don't know.
I go to Skinny Joey's, get my steak, but it's not about me. I don't have
Jalen Brown
anything to do
going.
with-
I asked you the other day who said it caught it. It has.
By the way, them treating him better in Philly, I really don't know. But part of the reason he probably didn't want to go to the Knicks is because there's a video of like people just straight booing him. You'll never be Kobe. You'll never be Mike. Like this guy was just like, freak out of here, LeBron. You'll never be Kobe. You'll never be Mike. Nobody wants you here. You're a bum. Like this guy was going off. I don't know if y'all seen that video. It's pretty funny. So LeBron being King Petty, I know he wasn't going there after that. He ain't like that.
LeBron's attention. Someone on ESPN, either Wendy or maybe
That's
it was
all-
Shams. And you
Every
said,
time something comes out, Max is calling me, Rich.
Well, yeah.
They said this.
Max
and they
is
said,
doing-
I'm
and,
like,
and
oh,
you said,
call you from
right?
now on.
And you said, of course that has LeBron's attention. You said it on this show. Of course it has LeBron's attention. You acquired Jaylen Brown. That's a good thing, not a bad thing, right?
that's a great thing.
Right.
All right. So essentially, that's Bob Myers' pitch. Max called it a soft pitch. I do think it's a soft pitch, but Bob Myers is not a clown, bro. He actually said it. Like, it doesn't matter what I say, really. All LeBron is really looking for is, was looking for, because now he's home. He found a new home. Is he's looking for somebody that's going to work with him and stroke his ego. And Bob Myers is not one of those. He probably has a lot of autonomy because the Sixers have been a hot mess and a nightmare and nothing ever works. But Bob knows how to get you to that championship level. And because Bob is smart, he knows how to work people. He had to deal with Stephen Curry, but Steph seems easy. Clay, Draymond is a head case, but he had to do with Steve Kerr and all them. So I'm sure he knows how to mold personality. You could tell by the way he's talking. Like, the man does his homework. He knows how to put all these things together. He's definitely smart. So I think he just appealed to, like Max said, the softer parts of LeBron James. If it's about winning, you can win here. That's a pitch. And also, why worry about people? You've already been in controversies and stuff. You've come on the other side of that. Doesn't seem like you care about them too much. It doesn't. I don't think LeBron cares. I think he cares, but also he doesn't. Because he wants his respect. He wants you to love him. He wants you to put him over Michael Jordan. He definitely wants those things, but he also still has shown that he's going to do what he wants to do, and he's not going to let how people see him take him off whatever the path is that he's deciding to go on. So, Bob did a good thing there. He's 41. He has grown kids. Bob understands it. And he said that he watches more basketball than people realize, knows the players better than I do. That one, I think, is one of the biggest comments that probably caught LeBron James, because he likes when people stroke his ego with those little things that he does that, he's trying to get those stories up when it comes to like the Kobe's and Mike's, when they talk about how great they are and how hard it was, things that they were doing and nobody else was doing. I 100% think LeBron James watches a lot of players. Even on his show, when you see Mind the Game podcast, I don't watch it all the time. I've never watched a full episode. I just see the clips, but he does a lot of name dropping, right? When he's trying to get people to appeal to people, and the thing about him, to me, it's very easy to see through him to an extent, as far as when he's name dropping. He's name dropping to try and be humble. I see LeBron James does that a lot. He'll drop a name to seem like he's humble. Like, I watch other people. It's not just about me. But ultimately, it is just about you. But you name drop to prove that, you're watching other people and doing things. And that's true. I do believe he's watching other people, but I just believe he's watching them so that he can use them, like a supervillain in an anime. Him and Rich probably be sitting down. We think we could play with that guy, So, yeah, there's that. I quickly want to just go back to the Stephen A. Smith loop and just kind of analyze that for a second. Let's just quickly dissect that real quick.
To LeBron joining forces with Jaylen Brown and company in Philly.
Shock, because I thought that if he was going back east, he would go home, that he wouldn't dangle his availability in the face of the Cleveland Cavaliers and then go somewhere else. For him to choose the Philadelphia 76ers, this is a shock among shockers. And I think that this speaks to Bob Myers, the architect, the former four-time champion executive for the Golden State Warriors, being in Philly now and having him there, who went out and pulled off a heist as far as most of us are concerned in getting Jaylen Brown. So now you got Jaylen Brown, okay, who's big time, obviously, with Tyrese Maxey, who's big time. You got him with VJ Edgecombe, who shined as a rookie and's got tremendous potential. And now you're looking at it, if Joel Embiid is 50%. I mean, if he can give you anything during the playoffs, the Philadelphia 76ers could win the championship. I think this right here puts the Philadelphia 76ers right there with the New York.
Okay, so I just, that's good enough for that. Does it put them right there with the New York Knicks? I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. The Knicks won the championship, but I didn't think they were unbeatable, although they played like it at times. So I got to give them their credit for that. I don't think they're like unbeatable though. It really just comes down to how well they sacrifice for each other and how well Jalen Brunson, excuse me, can close. There's too many Jalen's, a bunch of Jalen's, Jaden's. Why all these Jaden and Jalen's? But I think it's going to come down heavily to that with the Knicks. How well do they play defense? How well do they sacrifice as a unit? And then how well do they put Jalen Brunson in the best situation to close? How much energy can he conserve throughout the course of the game is going to be important. And they did bolster their bench. I don't remember exactly who they got, but I got to look at it. They did lose Mitchell Robinson. I think that's going to be the biggest loss. I think that could hurt them a lot. I don't know how they didn't re-sign him. I just think that's a travesty. But then they picked up somebody else to fill his shoes, but I don't think he's quite as good. Who did the Knicks pick up in the offseason that's a big man?
The Knicks signed Andre
Drummond. I thought it was Drummond. They picked up Drummond. Drummond's been running back and forth between the Bulls, the Sixers, and whoever else, but we'll see. I don't think Drummond is Mitchell. I think Mitchell comes in and immediately puts B2B, belt to butt cheeks on those boards, man. But we'll see. As far as the Sixers are concerned, I think talent-wise, they have the talent, but how does it work? Tyrese Maxey has to have the ball in his hands. He's a flamethrower. He's a blur. He's a flash of lightning. He is the best scoring pick and roll player I think that I've seen since Dwayne Wade. When you're talking about just killer out of that pick and roll. Because I'm not talking just about jump shots. When Dwayne Wade was doing it, he wasn't just coming off and shooting jump. Like, there's people that are better at shooting jumpers out of the pick and roll, but navigating it and getting to the basket, Dwayne Wade is arguably the best I've ever seen. As far as the ability to finish and all that stuff, he's a monster. He would get through every pick and roll. Kyrie's really good too, but he doesn't finish the way he finishes, but not the way Dwayne Wade was doing it was something special that only he could do. Just like the way Kyrie does it is the only way Kyrie can do it. But Maxey is that. You have to let Maxey get downhill, be a blur of lightning. Now you add in Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is really good, but is he a passer? You know, people always made fun of Kobe Bryant, but Kobe Bryant, Phil Jackson, we just did a video on that in the channel. Kobe Bryant was a passer, a very good passer. Phil asked him to initiate a lot of offense because he had the abilities to do so. He thought that he would be more like a Penny Hardaway type feeding Shaq. But it turns out Kobe was more of a Jordan type, and he saw that too once he got there, and he was like, this is going to be interesting. But will Jaylen Brown be able to facilitate enough? That's going to be a question. Will he be able to facilitate in that lineup? Because Maxey's not really a passer. He's a scoring guard. VJ Edgecombe, I haven't watched him that much, but he's a good young player. He's going to have to shoot something, And now you're going to have Jaylen Brown out there, and we're going to have to see, can he to me is going to have to be a player that sacrifices a lot in this lineup. And then you have LeBron. So LeBron's going to be out there, and he can pass, but we'll see how that works with him. He's not a great shooter. He's not going to be able to post up as much because Joel Embiid is out there. So if you got to go to the post, you're going to Joel Embiid first. But is Joel Embiid going to be healthy? Are they going to practice? I think Jaylen Brown and LeBron together, because there's been a lot of crap going on in Philadelphia where they were saying Paul George was barely showing up to practice sometimes. I heard things like that. I don't know how true it is, but that's going to be an issue. Potentially. But Jaylen Brown seems like a no-nonsense get my work done guy, and you add LeBron, his veteran leadership that he stole from Dwayne Wade, maybe that'll be able to get the Sixers on the right path. But it's going to be interesting. I don't think it's just going to be like that for them. I don't see all the pieces working seamlessly. I think Jaylen Brown is going to have to sacrifice a lot. LeBron seems like he's willing to sacrifice by going to that team in general. So, but will he be able to stay on the floor with that lineup? Do they have enough three-point shooting? With Joel Embiid in the post, do they have enough three-point shooting? Do they have enough playmaking? Are they going to play together enough? It's going to be interesting. You know, and LeBron James's numbers are going to be way down. So just be ready for that. I think he understands that too. He's here to try and win, apparently, thinking that it'll take him closer to like the Jordans, the Kobes, the Tim Duncans, the Magic Johnsons, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars. You know, get one over Steph, get one over Shaq. Is it going to make a difference for people like me? Bob Myers already told you that. No. No, he's just his fourth team. He needed to join all these guys to be successful. He's played with more great players than there are great players that have ever played dang near, I feel like. So, does he deserve extra special credit for this? Not in my book. But his fans, it gives them something to like go crazy over because they're not really thinking. A lot of them. They're just consuming content. So we'll see. You know, we're going to go from there. LeBron James is now a Philadelphia 76er. And it's going to be an interesting NBA season. I think it will have a lot of bravado and pizzazz to it. It's going to have a little flavor to it. It is going to be interesting to see him on a new team. But most importantly, the most important thing that we need to remember in this offseason, he is no longer a Laker. So he's somebody else's problem. And that's what I love about all of this. So, at the end of the day, please like, share, and subscribe. Click that notification bell to all so you don't miss anything we're pushing out on the channel. High points would be greatly appreciated if you listen on your phone. What I need you to do is click that subscribe button. I truly would appreciate that. Much love.